you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving, and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. Well, we're in the hunt.
I complain about having to do a bi-week episode of In the Hunt, but this is the perfect podcast to have absolutely nothing to talk about because we suck at it. This is the In the Hunt cast. The Bills are in the hunt. Sean Murphy, Kyle Turner, myself, Greg Bauk, special guest Jim Kurdziel joining us for just stupid reasons. We shouldn't be doing this.
This is why Manscaped dropped us. Okay. Intros like that, Greg.
I think it's I don't know what you're the cart before the horse there. I think that we suck, therefore we shouldn't have a sponsor.
Well, last time Jim was on the episode, he had to come to Wheatfield, and he doesn't have to do it this time, so that's a benefit.
Yeah,
True. I
that
forgot
was
about that.
I would have gotten just as lost here than as going there. Although my trek to Wheatfield last time was the discovery that there's like a state-funded chocolate place on the way, like that awesome chocolate place, but they only exist because the state paid them to exist.
I never knew it was state-funded, and that information wasn't available at the time. Really, was Wheatfield so bereft? They're like, would please give us money for chocolate.
The government had to step in for chocolate.
Then we had a good conversation about Zebs. So the sky's the limit for this episode.
Was our last episode about the Bills at all?
No, that's why I liked it.
About how the Bills felt about going to Zeb's.
Not good because it closed 7 years ago.
Here's a Bills convo. I'm gonna jump right into it. I was talking to a friend about the Arizona game, and we had a debate. Do you think Hopkins made an amazing play, or did the Bills fuck up? So here now, before you answer, obviously, it's a bit of both, but if you leaned one way or the other, what would it be? For me, I'm going to go first. I'm going to say, you're obviously supposed to defend a Hail Mary, but, they had their three best defenders in position. Hopkins has like unreal hands and strength. And I think it was more that than the Bills fucked up.
Oh, way to lead the witnesses.
Okay.
Well, I think Poyer fucked up. Like Hyde and White were doing exactly what they could have done and should have done, but Poyer had a shot to get in with momentum and swat the ball, and he wasn't even looking at it. So to me, it's more on him than anyone else. But really, Hopkins just made that play.
Poyer was like your buddy, and you are at the bar talking to these two hot chicks, and things are going really well, and then like Louis G walks up, and like it's like, come on, like, and it just like ruins everything. That's what Poyer was.
Poyer was exact situation. Poyer's your too drunk friend to help out.
Yes,
he comes stumbling over. He spills the drinks, and you're like, "That's great."
Yeah. He's wearing sweatpants. He's talking about the over/under on the Bears game. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Has a T-shirt that says "Wingman."
Yeah.
I got this free from the Shock Girls. They're giving out free shirts.
Hot Topic gave me this with 2 other T-shirt purchases. I actually think that it was just an amazing catch. Like like the math of it is crazy how it worked out that he was available to catch it, but I never really got too mad at the Bills. I just figured it was God, just like punishing me again for masturbating when I was 12. That's what I thought.
I agree. It's all Hopkins. He's the best. He was the best before that play, and that play settled nothing. He's the best. That's hands down.
Probably, if it was anyone's fault, it was Bill O'Brien's fault.
Yeah, that's true.
Trading him for nothing. Like, that's the thing because a lot of people are talking about, like, whoa, boy, Minnesota gave up Diggs and Houston gave up, Hopkins. And, but Minnesota got a haul for Diggs. Like, Arizona gave up nothing to get Hopkins. What was like a third or something like that? Like,
it was like a second, and David Johnson, who has 0 knees.
Right.
Which is less than the 2 knees needed to be a running back in the NFL.
Right.
Always
I also
count the
think-
guy's knees.
As you think about it, like not as a defense, but Hail Marys are happening kind of more and more often. I mean, Diggs alone had a Hail Mary in the playoffs 2 years ago. And then like
Aaron Rodgers did it back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers does it every other week. And so it is becoming kind of less of a rare play.
Yeah, it's like Golden State with a 3-pointer in basketball. Now it's like, if your offense doesn't involve constant Hail Marys, you're never going to compete in the league.
Which then begs the question, is it really a prayer at that point? If it's common, what is the need? And is there even a God?
No. The NFL proving there's no God.
That's what I was hoping we'd get into on the bye week podcast. Is there a God or not?
You're spoiling the trivia game. That was the first question.
Right. The answer, which is no, will be answered by the
To all our religious listeners, there is a God. I don't want to lose any listeners.
Kyle likes to play both sides of the aisle.
Hey, we'll all find out soon.
Kyle, Kyle, what do you have prepared over there?
I have questions for James.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, James, last time we spoke, as mentioned earlier, you were in Buffalo. Since then, moved to Skull Country. You're in Minneapolis.
Yes.
So my first question about that is the Vikings fans, as far as I know, don't really have a reputation. You know, like Bills fans are drunk idiots.
Yeah.
That's the reputation. Philly fans are assholes. Jets fans are, fat Italians that can't read. All those are very true. Vikings fans, what is a Vikings fan?
I would say that Minnesota is the poster child for abolishing fun. They built that new stadium and like they just killed tailgating, like it's very corporate, the atmosphere. And I live right near the stadium. I can see it from my window, and and obviously there's no fans this year anyway, but like, when I've been here before and you go to these games, like when they put that new stadium up, they just really killed it. So it's a really low key vibe, and it's like Minnesota, like they don't really know their place because they're in a division with the most historic teams in history and no one cares about them, because Detroit hates the Packers and the Packers hate the Bears and the Bears hate the Packers and the Packers hate the Lions and no one hates the Vikings. They just don't, they don't really care. And the Vikings are like, we hate everyone. And they're like, so what, Yeah. But occasionally they're good. And when that happens, like it's a weird kind of thing because like they're very supportive of sports here, but they're not very loud.
I like them.
They seem corporate.
Yeah.
They almost have a Toronto vibe to them where they're like, are you fans or did you win these tickets?
Well, and that's this area too. Like the Twin Cities, like there's tons of corporations headquartered here. Like it's like 23 Fortune 500 companies are headquartered here or something like that. And some really big ones like Target and Best Buy and like those kind of places. And that's exactly what it is. It's just, there's a huge, like sort of white collar population and executive class. And like, they love going to these games and these events, but like, it's quieter and they don't care as much. And every stadium's brand new. They have 2 hockey arenas. They have one for hockey, one for basketball that are separate places. The baseball stadium's brand new. The football stadium's brand new. The hockey arena is brand new. And, so they kind of have that sort of vibe to it, but yeah, it is really corporate here.
I was in Minnesota once, Minneapolis once, and it was to visit Identifix, which is a car fixing software, like you said, like a company, but it's huge. And it's like, like you said, like a big company with tons of people that no one knows exist and just sits in Minnesota. So
yeah. It's like 3M. Like the Scotch tape, like that's here, and it's gigantic to the point where like that company has their own neighborhood. Yeah, and it's not even the 5th biggest company here. It's just it's really weird like that.
The 3M,
I guess it's good.
3M block they call it, right?
Yes.
all the crimes are Scotch tape related.
That's right.
The police
That's right.
are
The crime
outlining
scene
the
tape
dead
is
bodies
Scotch
with
tape.
the
Yeah.
tape.
Everyone's nose and eyebrows are like this. They're taped up. I realize people are listening to this can't see what I just did to my nose, but you can picture it.
It's
Yeah.
come check out our two-sided crime scene tape.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the
so-
episode. That's it.
Greg, there's more to talk about. You ever hear of Stefan Diggs? Where do you think he came from? So
Maryland, technically.
So we brought him up earlier about, the Diggs trade. What I find interesting about the Diggs trade is if he was on the Vikings right now, I don't think they're any better than they are right now. But I think the Bills are way worse if he's not on the Bills. So in that talking point kind of is like, do people there still talk about the trade because they're not doing well this year? I know they have a losing record, and I know they've won the last two, but it's one of those where people are like, if Diggs was on this, do they stress over the trade, or are they like, it's done, I don't care, I move on?
They because Jefferson's doing so well and they
Yeah.
correlate that pick directly
That's
to
good.
that trade. They're sort of they've come around on it. The vibe here is that it was one of those things that it was a trade that was good for everyone. And people here will talk about how it was Diggs. He just hates Kirk Cousins, and who wouldn't? Who wouldn't hate Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins?
he
He was
sucks.
in an a cappella group, and I hate Kirk Cousins. I don't want to play with him, So.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
people,
even know he was in an a cappella group. And if you gave me like which one of these describes Kirk Cousins, and that was on there, I'd pick a cappella group.
Yeah, and he's wholly unlikable, And
To be fair, that group was Boys to Men.
Yeah.
right. But he just hated, he wanted out, and they wanted to let him go. So I think they were pretty livid about it at first when they were doing terrible and Jefferson wasn't doing anything and Diggs was the best receiver in football. And then they're like, oh no, we got fleeced. But now I think, Diggs is still really good, but I think they feel like they got a lot out of it.
I would rather be the team that had the young receiver that was like had the upside and didn't have the contract. Like, that's smarter, but I like the way the Bills did it because with that comes the threat.
Wow. Talk
Talk
about a
the Bills
cliffhanger.
the commodity as it stands now. Minnesota. Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah.
My audio freeze? Trust me,
Yeah.
it was great.
Right at your
Just-
point. You just
Yeah.
started your point and it was done.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. No one gives a shit what I say anyway. So sorry. I'm gonna go watch The Bachelor.
All right. Well, now we can get into more Bills stuff for everyone.
Oh,
Do
good.
we hate a week 11 bye? It's so late. I hate it, especially with this season with Levi Wallace being out a bunch, Matt Milano killing us, Josh Norman getting hurt after like 6 plays back. But is week 11 buys, they're so late, but I love when the bye week eventually comes. It's so much less stressful this week.
You're kind of all over the place. I can't tell what you feel.
I love a bye week. I wish it wasn't week 11.
Well, I say
this year, I wish it wasn't week 11 because of all the injuries.
My least favorite bye week is when it's very early. Week 5
Same.
bye, I hate.
Yes.
Almost any other bye, I'm okay with.
I like the later bye because you know where you're at going into that bye. You've got less than half the season left and you're coming out healthy, and it allows you to sort of set your plans in motion for what the rest of the season will look like, and you'll be a little bit healthier.
I would say I don't normally like the later bye. This year's a little different because it's not as bad, but like there ain't going to be shit to do in 2 weeks. And I need that Bills game on Sunday. Like I might be able to go to the dog park this weekend with the bye week being there, and I might get a little yard work done, but I would rather have the bye when I can like do something outside instead of like fight with my wife over her wanting to watch, I don't know, Queen's Gambit or something. So like,
Wow, just watch Queen's Gambit.
See, now that's a thinker. What do I have to do
Yeah.
where I need time off? I'm not even. I think about the players. I'm a
What
player's
happens
guy.
if they shut everything down? Like, what if they cancel the rest of the season? Is that even? Like they won't do that, right? They'll kill players before
Oh,
shutting
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
They'll get, the players will have to get their kids on the field, and it's like, I don't care, get them out there. You signed a contract, we own you.
They'll be like, Josh Norman's on the dead list this week.
Coaches will have
Yeah,
to roll the players across the line of scrimmage. They don't care.
I was gonna say, Goodell is like, God, I hope Andy Reid doesn't die. He might be a pre-existing condition there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like he has a problem breathing before COVID. So
Right.
His lungs are already full of cheese. We don't need to get some COVID in there.
all right. Last question here.
okay.
Sean. Okay. Last question here. Again, for everyone going forward, what's the one thing about this team that terrifies you, and the one thing you are most excited to see going forward? Which I think that one is an easy one. I will answer both to give you a little time to think. Obviously, the Josh Allen to Diggs connection is what I cannot wait to continue to see. I hope he, gets 10,000 yards in the next 6 weeks. Thing I'm most terrified about is, I don't know. Let me see. I didn't think about the question.
It's your question.
Yeah, I know. I just thought about it, but that's how you work it. That's the podcast.
Boy, I hope all the Italians listening are just laughing at your ass for
Yeah.
like saying bad things about them, and you can't even think of an answer to your own damn question.
I'll give you one. Matt Milano not getting a contract extension. That's the most terrifying.
That is
He won't, right? Like there's no chance they can resign him.
No,
I
no,
think
ridiculous.
they move mountains to resign. I think even if they got to cut a
They
couple
fucking
people.
should.
Yeah.
They
He
should
was
cut
hurt all
Edmonds
year.
to sign Milano.
But they've got to eventually think about that Harrison Phillips extension.
That's huge. That's going to be huge.
It's inevitable.
The whispers on the street are it's going to rival Marcel Darius from 2000.
I think the Pagulas will just give more money to Gergensons. Somehow they're going to work more money to Gergensons so they can't sign Milano. It's like, oh, fuck, we accidentally gave Gergensen $2 million more, and now we have to trade, or get rid of Milano. Yeah.
My answer to that question is to both questions is Josh Allen. I'm most excited about Josh Allen, and I'm terrified about Josh Allen. Like,
are you terrified that he's going to regress and kill us all?
I'm terrified that if he does regress even slightly, they'll kill him for it. Because like he's just such a polarizing figure that like if he's not perfect every week, then he's the worst quarterback ever.
Yeah.
And so you need him to constantly live up to that. And if he doesn't, how bad does it get? There's no running game to fall back on. The defense that was supposed to be keeping them in it, they don't exist.
It is interesting. Lamar Jackson, for all purposes, is having a huge regression this year.
Yeah.
He's barely a good passer. And
Right.
no one talks about it. Just no one brings it up.
But don't you think that is Greg Roman's history is he's amazing until he gets figured out and then he can't adjust. That's Greg Roman everywhere he's been. And he made Colin Kaepernick amazing. He made, but once his schemes get figured out, they're done. There's nothing,
Yeah.
I wanna point
It'll
out-
be interesting to watch Lamar for sure.
I want to point out that answering the same player for both questions is a dick move.
Wow.
That's worse than coming up with a question and not having an answer for it.
Can I play? I found this. I wanted
Sean
to
and I
play one
didn't
more
even get
thing.
to go.
Oh, I thought you were. I just figured you didn't want to answer, Greg.
No, I have answers for both of them. I think
Go
the
ahead.
thing I'm worried
Yeah,
about-
welcome to the podcast.
The thing I'm worried about the most is the single injury to our secondary because our defense is being held together by a friggin' Scooby-Doo Band-Aid. The thing I'm excited about is a different answer. I think Moss and Singletary are both super interesting, and I don't think that they've found any kind of groove yet. And I think that they can still do that, and that's kind of exciting for the long run. Not that I want the Bills to run the ball 30 times or whatever, but I think when they do, it will be,
Yeah,
it's
I'd like
an
to see him
element of
catch a
our offense
little
we
more,
haven't seen
that's
yet.
for sure.
Yes.
I'll steal one answer. Excited about Josh Allen. I love passing game. I want us to keep passing 40 times a game.
Are you going to say Ellen again too?
And I'm worried about the run defense. I feel like we're gonna
Ew.
I feel like we're gonna lose a playoff game because a team runs for 350 yards against us.
I hope all the teams do is run against us for the rest of time. Like, I don't give a shit about the run defense. I hope
Well,
that's all they do is run.
okay.
That's the way you win in the NFL, when teams just run on you.
Is that
All right.
true?
I think so. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Is that true?
Well, let's put it this way: if the Bills just ran the ball and didn't pass it, would you be happy about that?
No, but other teams have better
No.
run defense than us.
No. That philosophy doesn't, like, if you would like be if you would be mad that all the Bills did would run the ball, then
But
like I would be happy that other teams did that, because running the ball is archaic and it's stupid. You can run a little, but you should pass more.
But the only reason to run in the modern NFL is because it's working. That's the only reason
Yes,
you do it now.
correct.
It's like they just run it because, like, and the second they stop it, you stop doing it.
Yeah.
And if they don't stop it, that means you can just run all over them, eat clock and score and everything else in between.
You're wrong.
Classic in the Hunt debate.
Well, that's how you argue these days. I don't need a counterpoint. You're wrong.
Before the question game,
I got one more thing.
No, I got one more
Jesus.
thing.
Well, then we got two more things.
Oh God, make yours quick.
I wanted to, while I was looking for Minnesota Vikings stuff, I knew they did this Skol thing, and I was like, oh, I wanted to see if they have a fight song, like a shout song. And I don't know if they sing this. I doubt they sing this at the games. Let me rephrase that. But I found the Minnesota Vikings fight song. I wanted to play it because I love it, because it's so old school, like college-y. And I couldn't find one for the Bills. Greg, I know you're 110. Maybe you'll remember one that I don't know. But here's the Vikings one.
Skol Vikings, let's win this game. Skol Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, make it a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more.
Did he
That's
say get a
pretty
first
cool,
down,
right?
then get a? Did he say get a first down, then get a touchdown?
Well, yeah, you got to work your way down the field.
That's a weird thing to have your limits in song.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're not going to score immediately. We should
This
have a
is the-
lyric that reflects that.
This is the only Bills fight song I know, and it was Marv Levy singing.
Oh yeah.
Can you even hear that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, good job. Good job, Greg.
Well, maybe
Take my-
Marv Levy just died. I don't.
Can I freeze that again?
Yeah. That was great.
If you
Well,
say
the Vikings one is way better.
if you say once every minute, Marv Levy's dead, the odds of you being right increase
Oh,
every.
no, not Marv Levy.
He's gonna
He's
live forever.
98.
I mean, he's pretty old.
I'm
I'm
Steve
not wishing
Sean.
death upon anybody. I'm just saying he's old.
Jim Kurdziel, I know you know Steve Sean, radio
Sure.
honk, that from
Yeah.
Buffalo, a good friend of mine. He used to book guests, and he got a voicemail from Marv Levy that said, "Hi, it's Marv Levy calling you back. Give me a call back," and he leaves the Bills number. Steve Sean took that recording and called like everyone he knows and left that on their voicemail. So like the Bills office was flooded with calls from people like, Marv Levy's calling me back. Like, it was just like my favorite Marv Levy story of all time, and he probably didn't even know why it happened. But go ahead, Sean. You had one more thing.
Okay, I have one thing before the question game here. I wanted to talk about this for weeks. I thought I'd save it for the bye episode, especially for Jim, who's a music guy. A couple weeks ago, that the article came out. Bon Jovi had the big headline was "I won't ever go back to Buffalo." That was the big pull quote. But the least surprising part of the article that I feel like no one talked about was the revelation that he, if we believe him, and I kind of do, fully intended to live and keep the team in Buffalo, and that all of the rumors otherwise were from Trump and Trump lackey / Buffalo shithead Michael Caputo. And though I've never liked the music of Bon Jovi, I feel like if we believe this article, it sounds like he was kind of done dirty, to the extent that a multimillionaire can be done dirty.
Do
But,
you understand though that there was no chance he was keeping that team in Buffalo?
I don't know if I agree with that.
his major financial backer, his benefactor,
Yes.
was out of Toronto.
Yes.
It was
True.
Rogers Communications.
Yes.
So there is no chance that team was staying in Buffalo.
No, I agree. No chance. I
don't-
think what happens is, at best case scenario, they would have kept it in Buffalo 10 years.
Yeah.
And then they would have been like, listen, we have to go. We're going to, they would have gone out of their way to do everything they can to get people from Buffalo to go to Toronto. But they would have had some, like, it's just not feasible down here. The NFL is not giving us money, whatever.
I don't think it's not like, oh, I wish he would have bought it. Like, I still am glad things worked out how they did, but I am less convinced that he would have moved the team. I think it's certainly possible, but at the time I thought it was a slam dunk, and I don't think I necessarily still think that is the case.
Now it's a Golden State 3-pointer.
Yeah, which they miss sometimes. They do miss sometimes.
That's called a callback, Kurdziel. Good,
right.
good
That's
to
right.
go. I'll say this because I think it's very popular, especially after this, to like dog on Bon Jovi and his music. His music was the fucking greatest thing ever. Like when it came out, like I love them. Like Living on a Prayer was like the anthem of my youth.
Well, that's because you're
you
a
didn't
fucking...
let me fucking finish. I love.
No, that's because I'm gonna call you a fucking rube.
No, it's fine. I loved his music. I was just at that age where it hit me in all the feels, and I loved all of their shit. So, but you know, I'm glad he didn't buy the Bills and move him to Toronto. So,
I like that Young Guns 2 song.
yeah,
Was that Bon Jovi or that was a solo project?
No, that was Bon Jovi. I see Sam Bora. Oh no, that's right. I'm thinking of Dead or Alive, which I always throw into the Young Guns 2. The Young Guns 2 doesn't make any sense because at the end of Young Guns, they all die, but then they're in Young Guns 2. So that whole, I don't support anything Young Guns 2 related.
Did you guys ever try Bon Jovi's jarred spaghetti sauce?
No.
He has some. It's award winning.
Wow, I didn't know.
It's
I
called
never tried.
Agabagoo. That's the name of it, right?
Is that the sauce that you use like when you're going to make it in your kitchen and you say that you're going to eat in your kitchen, but you've been planning on eating in the dining room the entire time?
Yes.
And then Michael Caputo is like, I don't think he's going to eat in the kitchen.
It's such a weird marketing strategy, but yes, that's the sauce.
I think Bon Jovi is one of the most overrated bands, maybe of all time. I think they're perfectly fine. I don't dislike them, but I think who cares is what I say.
That's because you're 10 years younger than me, and that makes
that could
perfect
be.
sense. That's it.
Well,
I thought Cool in the Gang was overrated, I guess, because I was, that's not true. I love Cool in the Gang. I was trying to think of a band that fit in the same window, and I failed miserably at it.
REO Speedwagon.
There you go. That's a perfect thing. Yeah, Bon Jovi is the REO Speedwagon of 10 years.
But see, like Bon Jovi has played 5,000 more times than REO Speedwagon, or like Journey, even with Don't Stop Believin', and like.
I mean, hits are hits, right? Yeah. Like, and that's the thing. Like Bon Jovi, but the thing that's different about Bon Jovi is like, I learned this from like radio people that like, and we wouldn't have known this, Greg, because despite this group, we're even too young for this. But where like Journey and REO Speedwagon and all those bands, like they came up as rock bands and that's their legacy. Bon Jovi never got played on rock stations. It was always pop. Like it was straight to MTV. It was straight to pop radio. It was straight to, so it was always like taking that rock sound and making it mass appeal. That's what they were always about. And they were so big. They had a fucking plane.
Yeah. On a steel horse they ride.
And on steel horse. And I presume they paid a pilot.
Yeah. And one of them almost bought the Bills. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Which one?
John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, there's some other weird stat about him that like he had the most songs on a chart in 3 different decades or whatever, the longest time on a chart in 3 different decades that he had.
I thought it was he sat on his balls and they had to stop touring for a week, but that was Mr. Belvedere. The actor who played Mr.
One of the all-time best rumors, in my opinion.
The Mr. Belvedere one?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I love that story so much.
Would you like to explain it to Kyle? Kyle looks confused.
You know it better. Tell it, because I only know the Twitter meme of it. What's the story?
That's essentially what I know too. Is that he was filming and he sat on his balls, and they had to stop filming because he was so injured by this event.
Kyle might not even know who Mr. Belvedere is, but
No, I did get hit in the nuts with a lacrosse ball one time, and it took me down for a couple of days.
okay.
That's the best I could do.
Thank you for sharing today, Kyle.
We're gonna get right into the question game. For the question game today, we have a special mega edition of the question game because last episode was our 100th episode. So this is our 101st episode.
So
and
do you have 100 questions?
I have 100 questions. This is never going to end. I have 6 questions today, but they are all questions from past episodes. All right.
Okay.
So
from all 100.
Yeah, throughout. Now, James might be thinking he's at a disadvantage, but Greg and Kyle are dumb, so don't worry. I looked through my notes, and for example, in episode 3, Kyle played the question game versus himself, and he got all 3 questions wrong, and I didn't give away the fake jersey.
Why were we on the third one? Greg couldn't do the third episode.
I mean, don't act surprised. I hate this fucking podcast and I hate doing it. So
3 in? Greg was like, I can't make this one.
All right, we've kept this man for half an hour.
Okay, we're gonna get to it. The jersey on the line is from Reggie Bynum, because of the bye week. A wide receiver from 1987, Reggie Bynum. So I know you all want to wear that Reggie Bynum jersey. We got 6 questions. We're gonna start with we'll start with James here. Question number 1. This is from episode 53, the last time you were on the podcast. So let's see if you guys remember.
You were in Wheatfield.
Yeah. Go back your mind to Wheatfield.
State chocolate.
It's a good band name.
The team's mascot, Billy Buffalo, debuted in what year? Is it A, 1995, B, 2000, C, 2007, or D, this is a trick question because his real name is not Billy Buffalo?
How does this work? Do we
You go first. You go first.
B.
Okay, coming in strong with B. Kyle, to you.
I'll give the answers again.
Yeah, okay, he's going 95. Greg, to you.
C. I think it's C.
C, 2007.
I know that's his name, so yes.
Jim is right, and I think it was right last time too. It is 2000 is the correct answer. We'll start with Kyle here. Question 2. This is from our first episode, Kyle. What number is higher? Seasons of Cheers +3 or Bills players who started a game at quarterback since Jim Kelly -3?
Cheers episodes.
Cheers seasons.
Oh, Cheers seasons.
Cheers seasons.
I'm going to go quarterbacks.
You're on quarterbacks. We'll go to you next, Greg.
Yeah, it's got to be quarterbacks. There's like 20 seasons of Cheers. There's been like 40 quarterbacks. So yes.
All right, are you going to make it 3 for 3, Jim?
It's seasons of Cheers +3?
Yep, or Bills who started a game at quarterback since Jim Kelly -3.
So 11 seasons of Cheers +3 is 14. The quarterbacks, it's going to be right around there, isn't it? Holy shit. I'm going to say Cheers.
Okay, well, first of all, I want to give you the point, Jim, because you were right on with the first part. But Greg and Kyle get the point. Was 11 seasons of Cheers +3 is 14. There have been 21 quarterbacks.
Jesus,
Jim Kelly.
that
-3
started
is 18. That started a game. Here's your list: Todd Collins, Alex Van Pelt, Doug Flutie, Rob Johnson, Drew Bledsoe, J.P. Lossman, Kelly Holcomb, Trent Edwards, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brian Brom, E.J. Manuel, Thad Lewis, Jeff Toole, Kyle Orden, Tyrod Taylor, Matt Castle, Nathan Peterman, Josh Allen, Derek Anderson, Matt Barkley, and LaShawn McCoy.
Wow. LaShawn McCoy, no, that doesn't.
It does count. He started the game. He was on there on the first.
Did
snap.
you
Did you
have
mention-
Matt Castle in there?
I did have Matt Castle.
He did. Did you have the first? There was a quarterback that started. What was when they did the Wildcat thing? What was
I
that?
think you're thinking of Matt Castle.
I think
No,
you're
there was
thinking
a
of, are you
Wildcat
thinking
guy
of
we had.
Brad Smith.
Yes. Was he in there?
I did not have him on here. Maybe
he
I missed
started
him.
the game at quarterback, so they need to fix that.
Okay, fine. I'll
Well,
call
either way, we
Wikipedia.
win, Greg.
Listen, I'll call Wikipedia. I'll get him on it.
Sorry, I got mad.
Question 3. We're starting with Greg. It's a dead heat right now. This is also from episode 1. What number is higher? People with the last name Williams who have played for the Bills, or Williams Sonoma stores in New York State?
New York State?
New York State.
All-time Bills with Williams, New
Yep.
York State. There's got to be like 7 in New York City, 1 here, 1 in Syracuse, 1 in Albany, 1 in like Bath. I'm going to go with Williams that played for the Bills.
Okay, let's go to Jim next.
I'm gonna go Williams that played for the Bills too. It just
Okay.
seems like
I'll go Sonoma.
Well, Greg and Jim get the point. There's been
Damn it.
Greg was pretty much right on there. There's 11 Williams Sonoma stores in New York State, and there are 23 Williamses who played for the Bills.
Unbelievable.
I would have thought that would have been more.
Yeah. All right, so we'll go to Jim here for question 4. This is from episode 11. The New Orleans, I don't know why I had this intro for the question. The New Orleans Pelicans play in the best named arena in the country, the Smoothie King Center. So in honor of that, I want you to tell me which is larger, the amount of years the Buffalo Arena was named HSBC Arena, or the amount of years with every other name combined.
Every other name combined.
Okay, coming in strong, confidence. I'm gonna go to Greg next because Kyle looks like he's doing math.
I'll say HSBC.
Going HSBC. Kyle, to you. Break this tie here.
I'm gonna go combined.
Kyle,
I think I remember this question.
Kyle
Hey,
and
why does he get to play the tiebreaker? He lost.
Kyle and Jim get the point. There's no tie. I'm just saying the tie in this question.
Okay.
Calm down, Greg.
So Jim won.
So yeah,
I won. I got
yeah.
the point, Greg.
the combined is 12 years. Marine Midland 4, First Niagara 5, Key Bank 3, and then HSBC for 11 years total.
Okay, I want to point this out now. Like, people listening to this podcast need to know how good Sean is at trivia. That HSBC was 11 years. There was 11 Cheers episodes. There was 11 Williams Sonomas, and there was another 11 before that, wasn't there? I can't think of what it was. This man works for you. You pieces of shit just sit there and listen to this podcast and never give him credit for it.
It sounds like he more has OCD for the number 11.
He is an insane psychopath. Yes, he is.
Also, how come Kyle and Greg aren't ever in trivia?
Kyle's done it once and Greg's done it once. I think they both are scared.
I've done it twice.
I've never
Thank
done
you.
it. I've never had to do this. I would not. I'm hanging by a thread. If you try and make me do work, I am leaving this fucking podcast. No chance.
All right, episode. Is Greg up? Who's starting first?
Jim just won, didn't he?
No, we got 2 more, baby.
Oh,
2 more
Jesus
questions.
Christ.
This is a mega.
Nice.
I don't even
gotta
know
go
how
to
many I
bed.
got right or wrong.
Well, right.
We have
I'll give you a
jobs.
score update with 2 questions left. Jim has 3, and Greg and Kyle have 2. It's anyone's game. We're gonna start with, I think, Kyle for this one. Question 5 of 6. This is from episode 15. A great question. Who is faster, LaShawn McCoy's time in the 40 at the combine, or the fastest ever recorded speed of a fart?
Is a fart recorded in a 40-yard dash?
No, I had to do math.
Oh boy, I got to see this. Work it out. You know what I mean? You're just like that kid that wrote 28 on a piece of paper and circled it.
Yeah.
He was like,
I
how'd
mean,
you get to this?
The math may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right.
I remember this question. I don't remember the answer.
I'm gonna go fart because I don't trust Sean's math.
Okay, let's go to Jim next.
Same.
Okay,
I'm going to go LaShawn McCoy because I don't trust Sean's math.
Well, that's all very fair, but Kyle and Jim take the point. I have fart is 10 feet per second, which is 3.33 yards per second, and McCoy's 40 time was 4.45 or 8.98 yards per second. So a fart is almost 3 times faster than McCoy.
I'm challenging this. Like, if I eat a bunch of cheddar and some wings or whatever, the gastrointestinal pressure inside of me is propelling that fart out faster than a fucking cheetah. Like, it is gonna be fast.
Yeah, that's what fart won.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well, shit.
that's why I propose we trade for Greg's asshole.
I don't fart. The air's just constantly leaving me. Like,
Okay.
because my asshole's so rotten from all the.
But can it do it between the tackles?
Can a fart leak between the tackles? That's the question, yes.
All right, last question. We'll start. We got Greg with 2, Kyle with 3, and Jim with 4.
I'm out.
But so we'll start with you, Greg, then, since you're out.
Yeah, Jim needs to go before Kyle though.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. No. Kyle needs to go before Jim, right?
No, because Jim can then just answer the opposite of what, or the same as what Kyle did.
That's true. You're right.
So.
You're right. I apologize. This comes
Good
from
old man.
Because Jim's gonna friggin' cheat to win. Like,
Yeah.
he's such a piece of shit that he's gonna try and win a jersey that doesn't exist by cheating Kyle out instead of being.
Don't let the fans see behind the wall here. We
Yeah.
actually get these jerseys.
I have so many jerseys. My wife's gonna leave me. The closet's full of them.
Greg. This comes from episode 42. What number is larger, the jersey number of Brian Moorman or the amount of times Donald Trump has tweeted about the Buffalo Bills?
I don't even remember this question being asked, so I definitely don't remember the answer.
Is it updated?
Yeah. If we check, he does tweet every minute. I know one of the numbers, and just in case they don't know, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it's Trump by 1.
Okay, going with Trump. Jim, to you.
So I feel like on the surface, you would think that it's Trump easily because of what Mormon's number was. But I honestly only remember a couple of direct tweets about the Bills. So I'm going to go Mormon.
Okay. Kyle.
I mean, I guess I got to go Trump, so.
Well,
You sound like my parents on election day.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Hillary.
I'm fiscally conservative, so I'm going Trump.
The Jim is right. He goes a 5 for 6. Brian Moorman's jersey number is 8, and Trump tweeted about the Bills 5 times.
5 times. That's it. Oh, okay. Wow. Congratulations, Jim.
Thanks. I have a space cleared for the jersey, so I'm
Good.
excited.
Good. I hope
That's
it's.
good. We also had a revelation recently that somehow Kyle and Greg, despite doing a lot of podcasts with no guests, they're both under 500 in the question
both
game,
under
which is very tough to do, but somehow they managed it, and it's nights like these.
It's more amazing that Kyle's below 500 because I lose every fucking contest. Like, how can he be below 500? That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, quickly, let's talk about the Chargers game next week. Kyle always gives us a key to the game because the Bills, need help. Kyle's here with a key to how to beat the Chargers. What do you have this week, Kyle?
So I don't know if you guys saw the big news, but starting rookie quarterback for the Chargers, Justin Herbert, just got a haircut. All right. And now we have to go straight grade school on this. What do you do when in the 8th grade, when someone shows up with a haircut? You make fun of it no matter what. Okay. So here's what we do. We hire Russians to make memes about Justin Herbert's haircut.
Okay.
And then bombard, the internet with them. And then, just like any kid, he's going to get so sad about it that he won't be able to play on Sunday. And that's it. You make memes about his bad haircut. It's not even that bad.
He does look like a 14-year-old kid.
You have to, if the meme says it's bad, it's bad. So
I think, I was on the fence about if the Bills were going to win. And I think with that key to the game, I think that pushes them over the edge. I think the Bills win. I think it's a close one. I say 24-14.
Do the Chargers play this week?
They do. They play the Jets.
Miami. No, they played Miami.
They have to win. They have to. If the Chargers win this week, then the Bills will destroy them next week. But the Chargers keep almost winning.
Yep.
And that's terrible for the Bills.
Yeah.
Because if they almost win again, eventually they're going to win.
I liked it. I like the math. That checks out.
It does.
What worries me is it seems like when the Bills get a time to rest, they come back too rested. I don't, you know what I mean? They come back a little shaky, and the Chargers, although giving up games constantly, their offense is Herbert's thrown all over the field, and I think it's going to be close. And
Is
hate
Joey
doing
Bosa
this.
still dead?
No, I think he's coming back this week,
Oh.
and if not, he'll definitely be back next week.
That's a
And
problem.
that's a big one. I don't even think about Joey Bosa, but Keenan Allen out there. I'm gonna give it to the Chargers.
Whoa.
I'm gonna give it 31-26. I think Bills are a little rusty coming out of the bye.
Who scores 26?
I don't know. His number just came up to me.
How does that work out? You got him getting a safety?
In honor
They
of
do
Sean,
a drop kick or something.
drop kick. Now, in honor of Sean Murphy, I'm going to say Bills 14-11. Still got 11 out there.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
all, what is that? Illuminati.
What? Oh, I was like, what is happening?
I don't know.
I
I don't even know
wait,
the
who
Chargers
wins,
quarterback's
Greg?
name.
Who
I
wins?
said Bills 14-11.
Oh, Bills. Okay.
I don't know the Chargers quarterback's name.
Justin Herbert. He's a rookie out of
Is it Herbert or
Oregon.
Abear? Is he Bobby Abear's kid?
I don't
know.
speak French, so it's Herbert here in America.
Well, Bobby Abear was this quarterback for the Saints in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
All right. We're ending there. Like, that's the dumbest thing that's going to be said. So
That's fair.
no more of this one more thing bullshit.
Okay, just one more thing. We got a
I didn't even know that. I was like, I'm good. I'm done.
we got a Patreon launching on the 1st. Get excited about that. We're on the Helium Podcast Network. I do
Jim, you want to
trivia.
spend $1 a month?
Yeah. I got I host trivia every Wednesday. Sign up for that. That's fun. And leave a review on iTunes, subscribe on Twitter, YouTube, all that horseshit.
Jim Kurdziel, do you have anything to plug? Do you have any shows coming up? Do you have any? You can go across the street and do a show in the stadium. Who gives a shit? We can get 50 people in there and spread them out.
There's so many comedy clubs here, and we can't go near any of them. And it's very disappointing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you for being on our podcast.
Yeah, thanks
I apologize
Thanks for having me.
profusely.
Anytime. I'm so lonely.
And
Keep
yet
that in
somehow
mind.
coming on our podcast made it worse.
Yes. Yes.
All right, that's it. No, stop
Yeah.
fucking laughing.
I agree.
Jeez.
We don't.
Ernhead Hayward.
Oh, yes. No, if we do 80s Saints players, Eric Small. All right.
That's willing.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll stop. 'Cause I want to go to bed. Bye.
Wasting away again in coronavirusville. Looking up more ex-Panthers to sign. Some people say Dick's trade was an overpay, but I know Bills will win Super Bowls. Sitting in my room, reading some bad news. All of these people covered in germs. A note on my phone screen from the desk of Brandon Beam. A handful of picks for the man they called Diggs. Wasting away again in COVID-19ville. Stocking up my supply of TP. Some presidents claim that it's a Democratic hoax. EV knows Bills will win Super Bowls.